Imagine spending 30 years building a life with someone and then watching it all fall apart. Imagine then that the person you love sincerely and swiftly leaves you and gets married to someone else. Dr. Doug Weiss, a well-known marriage therapist, went through this when he ended his lengthy marriage to Lisa Weiss and wed Joni Lamb, who was involved in the founding of the well-known television network Daystar. But that's not the end of the tale. Many people were stunned by the stunning things Lisa Weiss recently stated about her ex-husband, which caused them to doubt Doug's morals and his choices. Dr. Doug Weiss is a well-known marriage counselor. Many individuals have read his books, watched him lecture, and collaborated with him to improve their relationships. Although Doug appears to be a decent worker, his personal life has become a major topic of discussion. Dr. Doug Weiss and Lisa Weiss were wed for over 30 years. It appeared that they would be a wonderful pair for a very long time. Doug was a famous marital therapist, someone who sought to improve the relationships of other spouses. He frequently discussed the significance of commitment, faith, and love in a partnership. Many people admired him because of his efforts. It appeared that Doug and Lisa would get along well. They participated actively in their church group, worked together, and attended public events together. Many people listened to Doug's counsel on marriage. In his presentations and writings, he discussed ways to strengthen collaborations. People were aware of his ability to keep couples together through difficult times. Doug was skilled at assisting others with their marriages, but it didn't mean his own was flawless. There are problems in every relationship. After many years of marriage, Doug and Lisa began to have problems that few others were aware of. After 30 years of dating, something changed. Doug's and Lisa's relationship was over. However, when Doug announced that he was divorcing his wife, everyone was taken aback. People found it difficult to comprehend Doug's constant emphasis on the value of marriage. He was killing his own marriages while earning a living by advising others on how to maintain theirs. Even unusual was the speed with which Doug moved on. Shortly after his divorce, he wed Joni Lamb, a co-founder of Daystar television network. Many folks were taken aback. After 30 years of marriage to Lisa, Doug married Joni nearly immediately. People started to question why he didn't give it more thought after they'd been married for so long. One major issue, according to Lisa, was that Doug no longer cared about her. She claimed that as time passed, he lost interest in their relationship. Fighting was only one aspect of it. It has to do with Doug's distance. Despite their lengthy relationship, Lisa felt isolated. Many who knew Doug reported that he became intensely focused on his work. Because he was spending more and more time at work, Lisa felt less significant. She believed that their relationship suffered since Doug's work consumed so much of his time. She had the impression that nobody was listening to her. Another cause of stress was being in the spotlight. Since Doug was a marriage counselor, many people were aware of his private life. Since he was constantly advising others on how to keep their marriages intact, it was much more difficult for him to comprehend why he had divorced. People started to question why the one who helped others maintain their marriages was unable to do the same for his own. When they split up, everyone was surprised at how fast Doug moved on. Shortly after he and Lisa parted ways, he married Joni Lamb, a co-founder of Daystar television network. This was quite unexpected. After being married to Lisa for a long time, Doug appeared to marry Joni fairly swiftly. Many were perplexed by Doug's hasty second marriage. Did he consider divorcing before it occurred? Was he attracted to Joni before it was over? After being married for a long time, why did he get married so quickly? The rumors were circulating. According to others, Doug and Joni had been pals for a very long time. They collaborated when they were Christians. Before Doug and Lisa's breakup, some of them even claimed to have been close. This increased curiosity regarding Doug's impending marriage. At the time, Doug was already seeing Joni while being married to Lisa. After they split up, Lisa Weiss didn't remain silent for very long. She had experienced a lot, therefore her story held significance for her. Lisa responded, "It hurt a lot when he chose to break up with me. It hurt much more since he married Joni Lamb so quickly after our breakup. I made every effort to keep our marriage intact." It made me reflect about a number of things. How is it possible for someone to remarry after a lengthy marriage? Did they previously have something going on? Lisa added that although she didn't think Doug would remain unmarried for long, she felt less significant because of how quickly he linked up with someone else. The time they spent together seemed to mean absolutely nothing to him. This was difficult for Lisa. Lisa discussed how difficult it was to handle anything in public. Everyone appeared to be able to see how much suffering she was in, making it much more difficult to handle. It took her a while to recover, but it was difficult because everything was so widely known. It was made worse by the speed at which Doug moved on. Letting go of the life she had planned with Doug was the most difficult thing for Lisa. She believed that they would remain together indefinitely and that their relationship would improve with time. However, Lisa realized that her dreams of a future with Doug were shattered when he promptly remarried. She believed that everything in her life had suddenly altered. Lisa turned around at that moment. She realized that despite the difficulties, there were also happy moments. For many years, they were content together, and she would never forget those moments. When times are hard, it's easy to overlook the good. Looking back, Lisa recognized that despite the suffering at the end, there was love and happiness. Lisa added that it was critical that she recover and move on. Despite the difficulties, she had faith that she would eventually find serenity. She advised her to move cautiously and experience the agony initially. However, Doug never gave a thorough explanation for the dissolution of his marriage. He didn't discuss the grounds for their divorce very much. Instead, he reflected on his new life with Joni. This infuriated those who were curious about the reasons behind Doug and Lisa's divorce. Doug didn't discuss his feelings or the circumstances leading up to the separation. Instead, he seems more eager to go on. After Doug married her, Joni Lamb publicly discussed their friendship. According to Joni, they had supported and loved one another during a difficult period. She claimed that as they overcame their issues together, their relationship had become closer. Additionally, Joni expressed her happiness with her new spouse, Doug. They were excited about their future together, she claimed. Many people started to question why Doug married Joni so soon after. Some believed that his decision was motivated by both money and love. Because Joni worked at Daystar, a major Christian TV network, and had access to money and other opportunities, people questioned why Doug married her. This infuriated a lot of people. Some believed Doug was exploiting it to benefit himself, even if Joni was succeeding at Daystar. They believed that his desire for wealth and power outweighed his desire to be with them. Many started to believe that Doug was more concerned with his media career than with moving on after his breakup with Lisa. Although Doug and Joni appeared to be happy together, some individuals didn't enjoy their relationship. They endured a lot since they were in the spotlight, but they overcame it thanks to their close religious ties. For Joni, spending time with Doug was a way to commemorate her time with Marcus and anticipate spending more time with him in the future. When Lisa Weiss gave her version of events following her and Doug's breakup, people were furious and saddened. Those who knew Doug as a marriage coach were taken aback by what Lisa said. She disclosed her mental health issues openly, and many people were unhappy with Doug's hasty remarriage to Joni Lamb. A lot of people wondered about Doug's personal life and how fast he moved on. The fact that Doug married someone else so soon was one of the primary grievances. Many people believed that Doug ought to have given himself more time to recover before dating someone else after being married to Lisa for 30 years. He married Joni Lamb a few months after his divorce, and his ex-wife was a founding member of Daystar television network. Doug received assistance from numerous people. They claimed that few people are aware of what goes on behind closed doors and that divorce is a private matter. Additionally, they said that Doug had been candid about his marital issues in his books. The speed at which he remarried angered some, while others believed that everyone had the right to move on and find happiness following a difficult split. Those who appreciated Doug also mentioned that he had assisted other couples and that his personal life shouldn't interfere with his counseling profession. Though opinions varied, it was evident that Doug and Lisa were both impacted by the way people felt about it. Although Lisa didn't enjoy the criticism, it allowed her to share her tale. Many people supported her, understood the suffering she was going through, and appreciated her choice to speak up. Because she had the courage to discuss her personal issues, people were better able to comprehend how difficult her split was. The Daystar television network was founded in part by Joni Lamb and her late husband, Marcus Lamb. It's a popular venue for Christian events, but it also played a role in the divorce and remarriage of Dr. Doug Weiss. Given that Joni Lamb was a founding member of Daystar, many people were curious about her personal life, particularly her marriage to Doug Weiss, because she worked in Christian media. Because of Doug and Joni, Daystar attracted a lot of attention. Daystar is renowned for its teachings on spiritual development, marriage counseling, and family values. Nevertheless, Doug's hasty marriage to Joni following his divorce from Lisa appeared to contradict these ideals. How a couple who discussed marriage could get divorced so fast and remarry in public baffled some people. The role that Joni Lamb had in the matter was also given a lot of attention. Because she played a crucial role in managing Daystar, many questioned whether her relationship with Doug was appropriate. Some viewers believed that personal issues were interfering with Daystar's direction because both Doug and Joni were well known in the Christian world. However, Daystar generally remained silent when others made disparaging remarks about them. Although the network remained focused on its Christian programming, Joni and Doug's closeness made it difficult to avoid the spotlight. Recently, this topic has received a lot of attention, particularly in light of a startling decision that left many wondering what would happen to Daystar. The fact that Daystar co-founder Joni Lamb sacked her own son, Jonathan Lamb, from the network was a major plot twist. For many years, Jonathan had been an integral component of Daystar, both on and off the air. Because of this, many were taken aback when Joni fired him. Jonathan also had a difficult time. How difficult it must be for a son to experience his mother's release. More so coming from a place they had both put a lot of effort into creating. People began to question whether Daystar was operating under its own personal issues rather than the principles it had always upheld. Some were concerned that Jonathan's family issues were harming the network when he was sacked. They also started to speculate about Daystar's future. How do you feel about Doug and Joni's marriage, which came so soon after his breakup with Lisa? Do you believe it contradicts their teachings on marriage and family? Since Joni works at Daystar and Doug is a marriage counselor, they frequently discuss their personal lives. What are your thoughts about that? Share your thoughts with us. Thank you for viewing. Please share your thoughts by like the video or leaving a comment. Thank you for viewing.